Brothers and sisters, today is my 14th video. And the title for this video is, When I Am Weak, Then I Am Strong. This is about Apostle Paul's experience about disability. And the reference for this work is the 2 Corinthians 12, 7 to 10. We know that Apostle Paul is one of the greatest apostles in the New Testament. And as a great man of God, 13 out of the 27 New Testament works were done by Apostle Paul. Like any other man of God, he met a lot of problems when he started his ministry. And the problems that he met, the book titled it, The Thorn in the Flesh. The thorn in the flesh described the numerous problems, both physical, mental, and other issues that confronted or that he confronted whilst he went about his ministry. The thorn in the flesh were issues like he met satanic attacks, he met spiritual afflictions, he had many physical ailments, things like poor eyesight and descriptively funny outlook. Many issues like ministerial opposition, that we are told that some of the human opposition that he met in his ministry came from Corinth. In some of his issues of disability, we are told that Paul had poor vision. And sometimes when he wrote, he had to write with very large letters. And many of his letters to the church were dictated by or to some people like Apostle Luke and Bartimeaus. In Galatians 6:11, there's a writing which says, "You see with what large letters I have written unto you with my own hand." In 2 Corinthians 12 and 7, it emphasizes the thorn in the flesh, which was, as I've elaborated, some of which were poor eyesight and other forms of disability. Apostle Paul, therefore, pleaded with God on numerous occasions. We are told that 3 times that these thorns in the flesh might depart from him. But God said to him that, "My grace is sufficient for you, Paul, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I would rather boast in my infirmities and weaknesses, that the power of Christ may rest upon me." You see, once he asked God for God to, he pleaded with God that these thorns in the flesh might depart from him. What God told Paul was that, Paul, rely on my grace. God wanted Paul to rely on his grace. What actually do we mean by grace? And can we all rely on the grace of God? There are many things that we do which is not our own doing, but the grace of God. The meaning of grace is the love and mercy given to us by God because God desires us to have it, and not because we have done anything to deserve it. Grace is a favor, is a free and undeserved help that God gives us, to be able to function well, to prosper. There are many things which unexpectedly come our way, which we do not know. But we should know that it's part of the grace of God, which God gives us to be able to function well. So, God told Apostle Paul to rely on his grace. Listen, brothers and sisters. Many people, when they get this grace, it turns them into pride, boastfulness. But Apostle Paul said, it is good he has come into contact with God, but he will not be proud and boastful. Like I've said on 3 occasions, he asked God that he begged God to take away this thorn in the flesh, and at the same time to take away all the pride that other people might have. But each time God assured him that his grace is all that he needs, because this power works best in weaknesses. There are some questions I would want to ask you, brothers and sisters. Can we boast about our weaknesses so that the power of Christ can work through us, like Apostle Paul did? Can we take pleasure in our weaknesses, such as insults, hardships, weaknesses, disabilities, persecutions, sicknesses, poverty, and many more? I will end this video by saying that for when we are weak, then we are strong. This is my 14th video, very short, and God richly bless you.